Blake, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And Blake, we sort of asked Jamison Taysom this about trying to replace a really good a legend around here, I guess. What's it like sort of trying to replace a guy like Thomas?
Yeah, spending a year with Thomas was invaluable for me. Just learning so much from him. Spending a full year with him, practicing with him every day, lifting with him every day. It was just, the stuff that I've learned will take me throughout my career, throughout my life. And, trying to replace a guy like that, it comes down to kind of trying to focus on myself, being the best version I can be of myself, and just taking what he has taught me and kind of putting that into action on the field.
What's the one thing, or what are some of the things that he taught you?
Yeah, coming in as a rookie, having a veteran like that really teaches you how to, be a professional, not only on the field, but, in life, off the field, in the community. And I think, everyone knows that Thomas was kind of the poster child for that, for the Saints for such a long time. And, I just hope to kind of be able to make an impact beyond, obviously I had a crazy amount of success on the field, but, make an impact in the community, be able to reach out to people, down in New Orleans like he did. I think I really learned a lot about how he carried himself, both in and out, inside the building and outside the building.
So, since you were learning the lift with him, we can assume you're going to be the best built punter in the NFL now?
Yeah, I'm still working my way up to his weight. He's got that dad strength now, so yeah, I think 100-pound dips are probably still on my bucket list to get up there, but I'm just focusing on being a great punter first and foremost, and then kind of let that fall into place.
Just being in here last year, was there anything that you picked up technique-wise that you think is going to help you moving forward?
Yeah, I think I told Thomas this, and he's almost unorthodox in his technique because it's so simple, it's so repeatable. And I think every punter should watch Thomas Morstead's film and kind of break it down and see what he does. He does so well is just the simple things, is a really controlled catch, short steps, and really exploding up and through the ball, not swiping across it. And I'll use a lot of that stuff. I still watch his film on our system and just kind of remind myself of how a legend punts. And I take that every day into what I do and try to be as repeatable as he was.
They signed the other punter. So how do you approach that competition? Is it just really kind of staying within yourself and just focusing on what you can, or how are you going to approach that?
Yeah, I think I grew up with a twin brother, so competition is kind of lives within me. We competed everything growing up, school, SAT scores, sports, college, you name it. We did the same stuff growing up. So competition is kind of what I've done for a long time. And competition brings out the best in you. So putting alongside Nolan's been great. Having another guy to kind of bounce ideas off of, feed into, kind of like Thomas fed into me, with a little less experience behind that. But I'm just trying to help him out as much as I can. Give him as much as I learned last year. Give it back to him. So it's been great having him here, and looking forward to future competition also.
What's your brother do now?
Yeah, so my brother played 5 years at Northwestern, started for 4, and just finished his first year of medical school at Northwestern. So pretty smart guy. He probably could have, given a run at the NFL. I think he was a really, really solid college snapper. But he had a really big passion for medicine and followed his dream. So.
Wait, so you guys got a snapper and a punter? Like you're a field goal kicker away from like a full special team student?
Yeah, unfortunately we're the only two in the family. So once our parents had both of us, they kind of cut it off. That would have been pretty cool, whole unit together.
Coach Rizzo was telling us yesterday about how much that probably helps you when it comes to being a holder, having a brother, doing that. How much have you all just worked together on doing that?
Yeah, going back to high school, we worked together a lot. I kind of got into the business first, and he would come out and kind of watch me kick and stuff like that and have nothing to do. So our dad, who snapped in high school, kind of taught him the ropes, and that's kind of how that developed. But yeah, every time we go home on break, summer break from college, he'd snap to me. We really didn't get that much time together, just based on college football scheduling and stuff like that. But I had 2 years of holding experience in college, always did it from from both sides in practice. So I feel really confident in, being able to be repeatable and kind of be a rock down there for Will.
And did you ever play any other positions growing up? I mean, a lot of guys, they get moved to punter, but I mean, what else did you play?
Growing up, I played defensive back and wide receiver until my sophomore year of high school. I wasn't good enough to play on the varsity team as a defensive back, but I was good enough to punt on the varsity team, so they kind of specialized me, per se. I played basketball and soccer in high school also. I had a history as a baseball shortstop, so I owe a lot of my hand-eye coordination to baseball, I think.
You end up on a team with, you sign with a team with New Orleans that really puts a focus on special teams, and they really treat it as a full-on third phase of the game. Is that something that you took note of before you signed a year ago, and what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think, obviously special teams is a huge part of the game. Fortunately, I came from a college program that puts a huge emphasis on it as well, and I had a coach in Phil Galliano down here who coached me in college. So I kind of knew coming in that the emphasis was there on special teams. And, just going throughout practices and training camp, it was really evident how many periods we had, the tempo of the periods, how much kind of thought and effort was put into special teams here. And I think, you see that on the field with field position and things like that, helping out the offense and the defense at the same time with that. So I think having a coaching staff that's really puts an emphasis on it, it gives us a lot of confidence and, motivates us to do the best we can.
After losing Justin Hardy over the offseason, there's going to be I imagine a big emphasis on trying to find that next gunner across from JT Gray. Is there anybody that you've seen in those special teams reps over the year that maybe stands out in that spot?
Yeah, losing a guy like Hardy, one of the best at what he does in the league, but, the other bookend, JT, is arguably just as good, if not better. So it's great to have him back out at gunner. And, Callaway had a lot of reps last year when Hardy was injured, and really progressed well during the season. Kind of watched it back on film a couple weeks ago and kind of saw how his evolution and how he grew into that role. So, looking for guys like that to step up also. Haven't really had a chance to see what the rookies got, but I'm sure we've got some speed out there also. So we'll see more of that in training camp in terms of, beating, what do you call them? The guys that block the gunners. Not very well versed in the punt return scheme right now, but jammers. There you go. No better than I do. But yeah, and then obviously getting down there to cover inside the 20 punts also.
Does having those effective gunners change some of the decisions or your strategy at all as a punter?
Yeah, it doesn't really change a lot of what I do. My goal every time is to hit a great punt. It doesn't really affect my mindset, but whether you hit a 4.6 or a 4.8, having a great gunner could kind of be the difference of whether the 4.6 is a fair catch or not a fair catch versus the 4.8. So I think having those guys kind of gives you a little bit more confidence, but at the end of the day, you got to focus on your craft and perform how you know how to perform.
Having played at Penn State, do punters, do you look forward to kicking inside of a dome?
Yeah, that is a great question. Yeah, October, November, December is pretty rough up north. And, we had three dome games as part of our bowl season in college. And, those were kind of the two most important weeks of my life leading up to those bowl games. Because I just got to showcase what I could do inside of a neutral environment. I think it obviously has a lot to do with, our mentality, our mindset going into a game when you don't have to worry about the weather. But, at the end of the day, you got to hit a great punt regardless of the conditions. And, being in a dome versus playing away games outdoors, which all of them are this year except for Atlanta, that doesn't really change a lot. So
how much do you pay a lot of attention to the schedule when it first comes out to see, especially those late?
Yeah, I mean, you take note. We've got a lot of the North games early this year on the calendar. Not really trying to worry about that too much right now, trying to focus on putting together the great performance during training camp, preseason games, things like that. Working hard every single day. But at the end of the day, it's kind of luck of the draw what you get where you play. You could play in New England in November and it be perfectly calm. So you just really never know ahead of time.